Hi, welcome to the Israel360 Cannatech Deep Dive. We're here with Nir Peles, the founder of Cannashore and a board member of Solbar. Hi, Nir, welcome.
Hi, Sol. Good day. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for joining us. So we're telling all of the audience who are coming from around the world about the specialized companies in Israel, the research. We've already learned from some masters today and heard from a couple of ex-prime ministers. So you're in good company. Tell us about Cannashore. What was your inspiration to start it? And what does Cannashore do?
Well, thanks for the opportunity. And Kanashu is a unique company. It's vertically integrated operation doing growing, cultivation, processing, QA, marketing, and R&D. Kanashu is actually a spin-off of Solbar. Solbar is a $132 million a year company, a traditional soy extractor. Now, when we came to establish Kanashu many years ago, we started with the fact that we had significant know-how in building factories and in extraction. That led us to the cannabis world back in 2016, looking for ways to repurpose our know-how in building companies and building factories into the cannabis world. Now, that's where we started. We ended up in a very different place, of course. Let me share my screen for a minute. Canashu ended up very differently from where we started. We started with the thinking about extraction only. Where we now stand is we do indoor cultivation. We are IMC, GAP, and GACP approved cultivate in Israel and an official grower, a licensed producer. We do extraction, packaging, and processing at an IMC GMP facility. We have got significant in-house QA with analysis methods of cannabinoids and different QA methods for both the flowers and the tinctures that we produce. We are significantly involved in product development and we are into marketing. We are launching actually this month and we have informed the public about the future, our anticipation for revenues of about $1 million until the end of June. And we are, of course, anxious to deliver. We are pretty unique in what we do. And let me share some looks. Now, that's our indoor cultivation. Those are only some glimpses of what we do over there. The indoor aeroponic cultivation, that ain't hydroponic. It's aeroponic, meaning the roots are floating in the air, receiving a mist of water and nutrition every 7 minutes. So we've got flowers who hang on either a column or a table and being fed while the air is monitored. We've got constant moisture and temperature, never changing all over the year at 6 cycles of growing per annum. The facility itself is GACP, and we have harvested just recently. So all those plants that you see in the picture are already packaged, and the processing facility.
So the previous slide is an aeroponic vertical grow system. That is proprietary to you guys. Where did the knowledge come for this system, which I haven't seen before?
Actually, we are running 2 aeroponic systems in parallel by 2 different producers. That is not an equipment we have developed. So we are running 2 different operations of 2 different producers. We sometimes combine with the 2. So we've got aeroponic mother plants, aeroponic nursery, and aeroponic flowering systems. So in total, we've got 5 different systems located in different rooms. Each one of the 5 rooms is constantly monitored for any possible growing aspect. And of course, we try to be as cost efficient as possible. It's actually pretty green in the way we operate because we use the facility which was previously a soy extraction facility. So we repurposed equipment and rebuilt everything within. The production, the growing capacity of the 500 square meter that we just built is a ton a year of flowers. Now, those flowers, as we already informed the public, are not radiated, and we hope we will not need to, but as for now, we are not radiating the flowers before packaging. And the cultivation is being done in a way which is very automized, meaning you have got the plants growing, they are hardly being touched uh, from the start point till the end point. There are only three employees running the floor in order to reduce the potential risk of different hazards. And the facility itself is being fenced and guarded, of course. The reason we chose such a technology was an understanding that Israel is a place where you just have to operate in a very cost-effective way. It's not the right place to use the heavy labor, simply because there's a lack of heavy labor. So we chose to go for agri-tech and not from traditional farmhouse. Another thing we understood, in order to comply with EU GMP and GACP, you just have to be without heavy metals, pesticides, and different molds and microorganisms. Because when you go to the European regulation, the need is to be very low in the amounts of all of those. When you talk about health and medicine, EMA regulation, European Medical Agency. So that is the reason we chose to go for agri-tech and not traditional farming. Simultaneously, in order to provide the public with a cost-effective product, we are procuring flowers from traditional farmhouses in Israel. So simultaneously, we are now launching both Canashur Indoor, and with those flowers which you now see, and Canashur Select, which are flowers being selected from certain growers in Israel. If you go up one slide, you can see that's how an indoor cultivated flower which grew at our facility looked just after trimming. Maybe we go for the next facility now. Solbar is an extractor with 60 years of track record in operation, a company which used to be a provider of Novartis and Bayer and Merck and Janssen, the big pharma. We took all that know-how and some of the leading managers and employees, and they rebranded themselves and of course terminated position at Solbar and moved to Canashur. Now the end result is we got significant infrastructure and significant know-how from Solbar to Canashur that enabled us to build both the growing facility and the processing facility. Now the processing is heavily automated, meaning we've got production capacity of 15 tons of flowers a year and 1.5 tons of tinctures a year with 8 employees at the production facility. We managed to do that with significant assistance from the state of Israel, with its innovative arm named the Israel Innovation Authority. They actually financed the majority of our R&D, which enabled us to create the QA and QP technologies and procedures, which we now use at the facility. That's how we look. We are launching that just right now. Talking about Canashur Select, Canashur Indoor, and the tinctures. Now, those tinctures who are post-stability tests with different amounts of different cannabinoids within are actually using 60 years of know-how. So we've got strong heritage, a very experienced team. If you just log on to Canashur's LinkedIn page, you'll notice the majority of the employees have got significant experience in either big pharma or PhD holders and agri-tech experience. Total, we are talking about 26 personnel in a company which does cultivation, indoor cultivation, processing, QA, QP, marketing, of course, finance, and R&D. We are running significant R&D trying to get the medical cannabis world into the pharma world. We are now developing 2 drug device combination products One of them is topical treatment based on cannabis with a collaboration or with a Swedish pharma company named Lipido. They're traded on Nasdaq First North. And a femtech, a solution for certain feminine disease, transplant, which we are now developing. The national support, which you see on the right-hand side, is actually from the Israeli Innovation Authority. They've been financing us for the last 4 years. That's very, and we are very grateful for that, of course. So as for the way we see it, the future is cannabis, but you have to deliver that with know-how, expertise, and capability. So I believe the breakthrough is cannabis.
Thank you,
So
Nir. I appreciate it. It's fantastic. Can I ask how similar is the crop of cannabis to soya?
they're very different. Soy is being produced in huge volumes. Solbar actually on a daily basis produce 1,100 tons of soy a day. We are Israel's largest soy producer. While cannabis actually is being, we know, process about 20 to 30 kilos a day. So imagine the difference. What is important is it is a botanical substance, meaning it is not consistent. Soy is not consistent. Soy comes from different areas of the world in different timing and different strains. Of course, it's different with different amounts of protein and oils and lecithin within. So the know-how of how to produce consistent products is at Solbar. We get soy from different areas which are completely different, and we end up with selling soy protein at 47.5%, simply because we have to do it because that's what we promised the customers to sell. So we took all that know-how and engineers, and basically we started with developing our own tinctures based on that know-how. We are Israel's largest oil producer. We produce about 230 tons of oil a day at Solbar, which is completely consistent and being sold to Unilever and Nestle. So we took all that know-how of how to produce in a corporate America level and how to operate in a corporate America level and got that into the cannabis world. Now, when we stepped in, we looked right and left and understood we've got a uniqueness. So our sweet spot is how to build operation, how to build facilities. We ended up with building an operation of indoor cultivation, processing both for flowers and tinctures, QA and QP, and while being traded on Tel Aviv Stock Exchange, and all that with 26 personnel. I would say that's pretty unique. I hope so.
I think so. So for participants from around the world, they can get in touch with you through the link on the interactive map. What are you looking for from collaborations and participants at this point?
That's a question I was not prepared to. So actually, I don't know. Let me guess, okay? We are fully financed. We know what we do. And we are aiming to be Israel's leading company in the cannabis arena. We are looking for collaboration in the pharma world, both at femtech and topical treatment. So just log on to our website or to my LinkedIn page. It's very easy to see what we do. All our R&D is IP protected. We are not talking about strains. We're talking about formulated cannabinoids, IP protected. That's where the R&D leads us, and all that is under the Israeli Green Book and the EMA guidelines. So that's our R&D. We are looking for collaboration at that. We have teamed up with one Swedish pharma company by now, and we are looking for additional collaborations on both those fields. If you're interested in any other collaboration, which I didn't think of, then that's great. Just contact me either by my email or LinkedIn. It's pretty easy. There are only 2 people with my name in Israel. So just find Nir Peles on LinkedIn. Either the first or the second will be me.
Amazing. Thank you, Nir, for taking the time. And you'll be available through the link, and you can always contact me to put you in touch with anyone from these presentations?